What's going on, guys? Happy Lunar New Year's to any of y'all that celebrate that. Anyway, so I wanted to do a video about building a toolkit for your kid and recommendations that I think would be a good start off for any kid that enjoys working with their hands, wants to work on their own car that they're getting. So these are my recommendations. Now, obviously, the brands I'm using here on display, you can get any tools from Walmart, auto parts stores, Home Depot. Doesn't matter where you buy it, Harbor Freight, or from the tool truck if you can. Doesn't matter what you buy them. I think it's more valuable of them having the tool to be able to utilize and start off with is more valuable than anything else. More valuable than brands, anything. It's more of a sentimental value, and doing so, creates an environment that allows them to, same thing for us, find peace at, out there working on their car, wrenching on their car, learning to use that tool, spending time with yourself. Those are valuable things. So we'll go ahead and get right on into it. Okay. We'll start off with the basics, and these are all basic hand tools, things that can be affordable for anybody. So again, you can buy these piece by piece or in sets or whatever, but these are things you kind of want to cover. So my first one are ratchets. I do prefer flex head ratchets, but it can be any kind of ratchet, whether it's straight handle, and people have different preferences. So again, ratchet is a very invaluable tool. I mean, from working on cars, different projects. So my recommendation is a ratchet. I would say a 3/8 and a 1/4 inch. And the reason I say that is 3/8 gives you a really lot of strength in different applications, and 1/4 inch can get you in places that obviously a 3/8 can. So definitely 3/8 ratchets. Good set of pliers. Okay. Channel locks or slip tongue and groove pliers. Set of dikes, side cutters, needle nose, okay, and slip joints. Slip joints are kind of like your universals that you can use for different applications. Needle nose, obviously, for getting into hard to reach places or smaller points that you want to get a hold of. And then dikes, side cutters, whatever you want to call it. Good for cutting stuff, obviously, and can be used for electrical applications if needed. And then your tongue and groove. And then back to this with electrical, I do recommend as well as a pair of wire strippers. Okay, good pair of wire strippers, so that way if they're like teenage boys, they like installing sound systems, so wire strippers are good for them. And these have built-in crimpers as well. Now, it just depends on preference, but again, you can find different ones. There's different styles, so let me show you another one. I think I have it in my other box. They have spring-loaded ones that are kind of similar to this. You can get something like from Klein, from Home Depot, or whatever. Okay. So, pliers, wire strippers, definitely good recommendations. A box cutter, a utility knife, whatever you want to call it, always good to have. Crescent wrench or an adjustable wrench. Get you a good size. I would recommend 10-inch or above. 10-inch I think is a good medium. It can fit into different places, but still gives you good enough strength. So 12-inch, there's obviously 12-inch, 8-inch, or whatever. But yeah, I think 10-inch is a good medium. A magnetic pickup tool and an inspection mirror. Very good to have. These will save, if they drop a bolt or a nut or whatever, they can reach into, tight spaces and get it out. Inspection mirror, same thing. If they're, working with, obviously a lot of professional mechanics will use scopes or whatever, but inspection mirrors are very good. Some sort of hammer, okay? This is a 3-pound engineering hammer. Now you can do different sizes. The reason I like this one is because in the wheel wells, you still get enough swing and the hammer still packs a good punch. But any kind of hammer, ball peens, I would, if your kids are into automotive, definitely look into ball peen hammers, okay? There's different styles out there. You can get these kinds. And they also sell this similar style on Amazon. You can get it for $11 for a set. They'll come with this style and the dead blow, okay? So those are good. Pry bars. Pry bars are very useful, especially working on suspension, anything that requires moving heavy parts. Pry bars are very useful in different applications. You can, obviously the name speaks for itself, pry bar. So definitely a pry bar in there. Lighting. Some sort of flashlight, whether it's a small one like this or a handheld one. It's got different types of modes on it. Some sort of lighting. But the best thing is a headlamp as well too. That way you're facing in the direction that you can see. You don't have to, especially when you're working by yourself. All the fathers can speak for that. If you don't have your kid with you, you need to have one of these. But recommend getting one of these for your kids as they're working out their vehicle. It'll be very useful for them. A wrench set, okay? I recommend getting a full wrench set with all the sizes on it, from smallest to biggest, obviously. For me, when I was growing up, I used a wrench set with my dad. We didn't have power tools in our garage. He kept those at work, but working on other people's cars, our vehicles, whatever, this is all we used. We didn't, and I understand now the concept of why he did that to me. Using a wrench set, you're able to basically learn a lot more in terms of being hands-on with stuff. Plus, wrenches can fit in a lot more places than a power tool can, so this is definitely useful. A pick set. A lot of vehicle maintenance. It's required to remove seals, hoses and stuff. So pick set is very valuable. Make sure you get the ones with different varieties, obviously. But even though this is probably my favorite one that I use the most, is the 90-degree right angle one. But yeah, pick set. Screwdrivers. You don't need a big set. Honestly, that's why I got rid of a lot of my blow molded case sets on screwdrivers. You only need a Phillips and a flathead. Now, if your kid has an import, meaning if they're working on Toyotas, Nissans, Hondas, I do recommend you getting a JIS screwdriver. Now, Craftsman makes some. This is a rebranded Vessel. Vessel makes really good screwdrivers, and this one's a flathead version. Let me go get my Phillips one. And here's the Vessel version, okay? These grip differently on a Phillips head. So if your kid has a import vehicle, this is definitely a good recommendation. There's the part number right there. Okay, these are made in Japan. They're really inexpensive. Alright. So I'm going to flip y'all around real quick. Alright, sockets. Okay, my recommendation is to get one of the 4 sets of sockets. But again, you can go to Walmart, The Hyper Tough brand. Hyper Tough is coming out with a lot of good stuff for cheap, obviously, budget-wise. You can get sets like this for like less than 20 bucks at Walmart. Get the full set, you know, don't skip sizes. Same thing with the wrench set, like I said earlier. You don't want to skip sizes because then they're going to run into a situation where they can't, they don't have that right socket size or right wrench size, and they're in the middle of a job. Maybe they're replacing shocks or something, okay? Those are things that you want to make sure that's included in the kit. And these kits are very cheap nowadays, especially when you're buying for your teenager. You can get these full sets on Amazon for really, really cheap. Some of them will have promos, coupons, or whatever. So again, this one's a Milwaukee set. These go on sale every so often from Home Depot as well too. This is what I've run for my mobile setup, and I've been enjoying using these. And the reason I like these is because the sizing on them is printed. It's very large. You can see it easily, and these Milwaukee sockets are very robust. Which is why I don't have, as you can see, they don't fit properly in these socket holders. Now this socket holder is meant for chrome ones, but they're not going to fit anywhere. I'd have to drill them out, obviously. So this is the 1/4 inch set, 3/8 set. I recommend both. Like I said, same thing with the ratchets. You want to allow them to have the different variations, and it's not an expensive investment either. So there's that. And along with the socket sets, now these do come with a little smaller 3-inch extension here. Comes with a swivel adapter and a little hex shank one. But my recommendation is to get one of these extension sets. And again, this one's a Titan brand. You can buy different brands online. There are a variety of them that you can get. Sorry, I had to get some lighting on here for y'all. But these come with different variations. They got the 1/2 inch, they got the 3/8, the 1/4, the small one. Make sure to get some. There's some that come with little adapters that you can go from 1/4 to 3/8, 3/8 to 1/4, whatever, vice versa. So yeah, different variations of that. You know, just do your little research online. But as far as storing tools, you can always start them off with some kind of tool tote, some kind of caddy or whatever, you know, something like this, where you can they can kind of throw their tools into there, carry it out to their vehicle, work on it, and so on. So yeah, I think these are definitely good basic hand tools that every teenager should have in their vehicle, their truck, or in their garage, so that way they can work on vehicles and learn. There's plenty of information out there, so get your boys and girls out there, get them hands-on. They'll appreciate the experience. I know my kids, they love coming out there helping me or doing their own vehicle maintenance or whatever. It's a good life lesson for them. So all right, guys, if y'all have any questions or recommendations, let me know. Throw it in the comments below. But appreciate y'all watching. Y'all take care. Almost did forget. Make sure you throw in a pair of gloves and some safety glasses. Okay? Some kind of protection, PPE. Always definitely good. I'm sorry I forgot about that. One more addition, a tape measure. Okay? Obviously,